Well, hi everybody, it's Leanne Greff with tonight's Facebook Live. We're doing Stamp With Me tonight, and we're making these, I'm calling it a masked blending technique because of the column of blended background. So, yeah, we had, oh gosh, I forgot to get my ornament cards out, but actually I sent them all. So last time we did Stamp With Me Live was at the end of November, and I challenged some of you to create ornament cards. So I don't think I have any left. Well, anyway, forgot to get them out. But I did draw a winner of those who participated and shared their ornament cards, ornament shaped cards. They were circles with design or designer paper or a die cut or a snowflake on them. They were so easy and really cool to make. And so, yeah, like I said, really easy. So I'm going to see if my laptop will sync up here. And let me see if I can recycle this and see if it'll pop up because I want to see comments. And yes, there we are. Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I was going to say good morning. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow's live Tuesday will be at 11 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. So, hi everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope to give you some good tips on doing this technique. So I use 3 stamp sets, are all brand new. One is Celebration. This is a new Celebration choice. It is a 2-step stamp, and I'll be sharing how to make this. It's super simple, and the stamps, they're clear. So it's very easy to do the 2-step stamping technique with that. And this one uses mostly the petal part, which has a punch that matches it, coordinates. I always like it when we have punches that coordinate with the stamp set because they're so easy to use versus dies that take a little bit more time. And I've been pairing it a lot with the Kind and Sincere stamp set. I find where they have the large fonts with the smaller cursive versus serif and how they work together so beautifully. I really have been using this one a lot. It says most of what I like to say on my cards. So yeah, that's the 3 that I've been playing with this technique. All right, so let's start with this one. So when I made my cards, I used Post-it notes. And I have these long, this is how long they are, Post-it notes. And I tape them together in a line. And this is the sticky edge, and that's what I did on my cards. So this one is Night of Navy with Coastal Cabana. I kind of like the, I don't know, the combination. Navy to me is almost like another black. It's softer black, but it's such a nice contrast to some of these. So I'm going to do, this is the front of my card, which is a 4" by 5 1/4, our standard first layer. And what you want to do to do this, so I'm not going to use this because it's not sticking very well. You can see I kind of rounded the corners. So it's just a matter of, and I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock so I don't make a mess on my grid paper. And you can make your line as wide as you want. I honestly do not have, I don't measure it, I just do whatever feels right. So I try and match up my edge with this. Now we do have masking paper, and the second card I'm going to do uses masking paper. Just want to be sure, yep, that's right to the edge. So then I'm going to press that along there, grab my other one, and here's where it gets a little trickier because you don't have a long edge to match. So I'm going to basically just kind of eyeball it. What I like to do is I have this silly little ruler that I use. So I'm going to measure the top, and I have 1 5/8 inch, and at the bottom I don't have 1 5/8. So I'm going to just lift that up and kind of wiggle it until I have 1 5/8. And then double check my measurements again because there's just not a lot of edge here, oh, on this side. Now did I make the other one wrong? I did. I moved that one instead of the other one. So hold on. Shouldn't flip this over, right? Yeah, it looks even here. I can see just a hair. Okay, now I'm going to measure again, see where I'm at. It's a little less than 1 5/8, and it's 1 5/8. So this, I think it's this one. No, this one has to move. So it's just a matter of, you could easily use pencil marks. There we go, 1 5/8, 1 5/8. Okay, now we're ready to start. So that's the hardest part of the whole thing, is just getting your lines and making sure that it's pretty smoothly adhered on the edge. Now the next tip I want to tell you to use is to not hold your brush up here, your blending brush, but hold it back here. And it doesn't matter. I think you get a little better inking when you rub it rather than tap on it. I think you fill the sponge a little bit more. So the best tip I can give you ever in sponging is to start on your scrap paper and then just slowly do circular. So you can see I'm trying not to press hard. That is the biggest, besides starting on your scrap and not on your actual surface, that is the most important thing, is to not press hard. So I'm trying to avoid the middle for the most part. As you can see on here, I have more of an empty space. It just kind of highlights the shadow. Now that could be totally different. I mean, it really is not important to leave an empty space. It's just what I wanted to do. So I'm going into the center, but not much. And this just smooths out my my blending. Now, if you wanted to make a more marked line, go back over just the edge of this. Okay, then actually turn over this whole piece. Then you want to start on the other side, and I'm going to hold this down so it doesn't lift, and just do the whole thing over again. And the one thing about using these blending brushes for a soft background like this is you have to have patience. It just is so important to go a little bit at a time and not try and rush this. But circular motions, I found, is the best way to get a smooth line or background. So I went a little bit darker on the first path, so I'm going to try and emulate that on the second one. And I still have, you can see a kind of a white center here. Hi everybody, glad to have you join me. I appreciate you chiming in and letting me know you're here. Okay, so then you can start lifting this up to see what you have. And that's what we have right there. So that's how, and you could use 3 Post-its if you don't have these long ones, but you can get those in an office supply store. I'll show you our masking paper from Stampin' Up! In a little bit here. Okay, so now we're going to, we'll leave that out. Use Native Navy, and we have a few things to stamp. Actually, let's see, going to gather, because I'm trying to get that stamp set. This stamp set, the Petal Park, and it has leaves for a background, and then these flowers are that match the punch right here. So I'm going to look at the punch and see which way this has to go at the bottom of my piece of scrap paper. You'll see why in a minute. Oh, and I used the wrong one. Hold on. I want the outline one, so I have to clean that. And grab this one. Okay, once again, I need this at the bottom. Okay. All right. And set that aside. And now I have this same one that was clean. Now I'm going to ink it in Coastal Cabana and stamp right over the first one. And because it's clean or clear, I can see exactly where I stamped. Right through there. And I think that might, oh no, that's not it. Hold on. All right, the punch. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. Okay, oh, yeah, here we go. All right. Making sure that's all lined up evenly. Sometimes it takes a little bit of adjusting. And that's the new flower punch, and I don't even know the name of it. Now, one thing I did do, let's see what I have that I can do that with. So what I work on here on my grid paper is a foam mat. I think it's basically fun foam. And so what I did was grab something round, and this is my take your pick tool, and I just kind of pressed in the center of this on my foam mat. You can do that with the Stampin' mat too, and it just kind of lifts the petals up a little bit when you do it on the foam mat. You can kind of see how they pop up a little bit. You can do anything that's round, like the head of a pen or something like that. Okay, so we have those. Now we're going to start stamping those same flowers. Here we go. In navy. And I'm going to turn it the way that I did before. And just kind of alternate. Let's see. Go like that. I want to leave some air. Oh, but very important before you get too far is to get your greeting in there. Almost missed that. Greeting is what has to be there. The flowers don't really have to be there. So we'll stamp the thanks, and then we'll continue with the flowers. And because I'm going to go off the paper, I'm going to move that a little bit. Okay, so there's the flowers. Then we have a single leaf that's also going to be stamped here and there. And I like to stamp that kind of around the petals, so it looks like it's coming off. And you could do two. I'll show you what I mean by that. There's one, there's another, and not a lot of room down here. And my greeting is going to go there, so not sure where else to put one. Okay, we'll do one right there. Okay, next is our dots. So these two stamp sets I'm playing with have these little dots that add a lot to the images. So that's going to be in Coastal Cabana. And I did re-ink this tonight because it seemed like it was getting a little bit dull. So I'm just barely touching so I don't fill up my block. It adds so much when you add these little dots. Just a little playfulness maybe. And then I like it to be off now and then, so yeah. All right. Hi Nancy, I'm glad you could watch it live too. Okay, now, oh, I know the last thing I wanted to do was there are some flower centers, an image in this set. Oh, it's not in this set, it's in the other one. But I'm going to use it. Oh, I know what I did. I used my blends marker. That's what I did. And I believe that if I stamp this multiple times, I can get a flower center on this big one. Pretty good. I'm kind of rushing a little bit. I don't want to take too much time stamping. I probably chose the wrong sets because there's so many little parts to this. Okay, so on this one, I stamped So Very Much on just a scrap of Coastal Cabana and lightly stamped it crooked. But I can fix that. Put that aside. I'm just going to freehand this So I like a nice narrow, I could use a paper trimmer, but I'm pretty good at getting this straight. And you know, it's just a greeting. It's not a big deal. Okay, nice and thin here. So then I just do this and keeping my scissors the same angle, I go here. That's how easy that is. Saw how quick that was, right? So it's very easy to make this background. This one you can see is quite a bit wider than the other one. I'm just going to use some edge pieces and just kind of tear them. Make sure that's straight. Okay, so here I have my flowers, and actually I can glue this right to my card now. Isn't that pretty? I think it's so striking. Very striking colors together. But then, you know, I'm a fan of contrast, and especially Coastal Cabana or Bermuda Bay. They are my colors, and I love to find colors that match them, or not match, coordinate. Okay, I think I didn't bring my glue dots, so I'm going to add some liquid glue where I want those flowers to be. And then just press them on. I'm going to attempt to match the flowers. The petals. It may not be perfect, but they're very, very similar, so it really isn't that big a deal if they're not exactly over the ones I did pre-stamp. So this is a new set of embellishments. Is Marilyn on, Jen? I didn't see her. Is she watching? My friend Marilyn has been ill for a while, and I didn't know she was on Facebook, so we'll see. Jen, I didn't know she was on. Oh, there she is. Awesome. Glad to have you back, Marilyn. She hasn't been on forever, so she's starting to feel a little bit better. She's had quite some major illness going on. So anyway, this is adhesive backed milky dots. And I don't know what colors they are. It almost looks like that could be like a crumb cake or a soft brown, and that's kind of an off, I don't even know what the colors are, gold and then blue. And so I'm putting a large dot there, and a small one here, and I don't even know if this is the right blue. It could be Starry Sky, but it's close. And then I did pre-tie a bow, and I'm just kind of in this thing, and I didn't bring a glue dot, but I can do that later. But I kind of like to just sneak that knot underneath the greeting. And so you kind of just see a squiggle of twine or ribbon, but you don't see the knot. But I also don't like to obscure my greetings, so it almost has to go down here. And I didn't do an inside on this one. I don't know why I missed it, but I would probably just stamp some flowers in a corner. Or actually, I have it right here. I can do that. I can do it. Okay, my flowers are right here. So I kind of want to do a corner. Oh, that one didn't come very strong, so I'm going to attempt to do it again. Not too bad. Okay. All right, so that will go on my inside. I'm going to show you how crazy I can be with glue sometimes. And I'm just going to do 3 lines. Have you ever seen people do that? It really gets almost everywhere you need it to be, the center, the upper, and the lower. And it does not go so close to the edge that it squeezes out. So anyway, that's my quick glue technique. Okay, so the first card's done. Now the next one we are going to do with the masking paper from Stampin' Up. So their paper comes like this, and so you can see that you just peel off the edge. So what I'm going to do is just cut it down the center. And I don't care that this is crooked because I'm going to use the outside edges. In fact, I probably want it to be crooked so I can tell that it's not. The only problem is going to be now is getting the, I'm going to do that so I can find the part to open. Okay, so our next card is the purple one. It is, move that aside, this one right here. And that's using the Celebration Beautifully Happy. And this is, like I said, a 2-step stamp. It's free during Celebration, which starts Thursday, the 5th, and it's free with a $100 order. So it's a big set. It has 17 images, and it's double, two pieces in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring back my scrap paper, clean up my mess a little bit, and get the large piece. Probably go north and south again, I don't know why. Well, maybe I wasn't. And then bring this masking paper and make sure I use the straight edge that Stampin' Up! Gave us. And as far as getting this even, especially on white, why don't I do it on my card base? Maybe that would help me line it up straighter so I can see the edges. So this, like I said, this is the hardest part of the card. Okay, so and this is a lot stronger masking than a Post-it. So be sure you have it on there straight. Now this is going to stick to, not on that part, but on the edges. Okay, then I'm going to get the other piece and attempt to do this one straight as well. And I'll get, before I press down very much, I'm going to get my little ruler out and measure. So it's just a little more than 1.5. Yep, a little more than 1.5. I did pretty good. All right, so I don't want to press down too firm because there has been rumors that if you press really firmly on this, it will actually lift up some of your paper. So do you like the paper, Char? I have not honestly used it a lot. So I'm kind of scared because I've seen some other people that have had trouble using it. So I'm using it live and hope I don't regret it live. I'm not going to do quite as much, and I've got to move my fingers back so I don't press so firmly, because a soft touch is the way to do a soft blending. So it might take a little bit longer. I can see I'm getting some swirl marks. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I did just re-ink. I don't like that. I see a little piece on there that could be. There's also something going on with my ink pad. I don't know why I have holes on there. I may need to get a new ink pad. Every now and then I hear people that have this issue with their ink pad kind of getting spots, and it usually happens with purples or reds. I've never seen it happen for myself with a green. So, oh, that's a good idea. Char said she dabs this on her shirt sleeves a little bit, like your sweater or something, so it's not quite as sticky. That's a great idea. Thank you. So I'm just being really soft, trying to be patient. Oh gosh. It's hard to be patient when I know you guys are just watching. If you lift it too quickly, yes. So I'm going to try not to do that, Kathleen, is to lift it very gently and maybe at an angle. If it's like painter's tape, I like to lift that at an angle as well, and it seems to be a little more gentle. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and call it good. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Pulling it from the side. Oh, this is the sticky, large area. That is really sticky. So yes, next time I think I will dab it on my sweater or my t-shirt or jeans or something, because you can see I'm pulling very hard. But it's not tearing my paper. I just worry about using my fingers, maybe I'll use a piece of paper or cardstock to touch on this white. Okay, that's coming pretty nicely. I can see I could probably even use that again, except it's wrinkled pretty badly. Okay, we'll try this. This side shouldn't be quite as bad because it doesn't have as much to pull. I'm not quite as nervous about it. But yeah, it is sticky. Really sticky. Okay, all right, got that done. Okay, so this stamp set is kind of well, it's a two-step, but it's a large set, and it's really fun to put together. So if you don't have it, I think you'll be interested in watching just the few pieces that create this this image in two-step stamping. Okay, so that was in Gorgeous Grape. Okay. Right. And then we have Fresh Freesia. I'm going to set that aside. Actually, while I have the Gorgeous Grape, I'm going to bring in my greetings. And I have Sending Happy Thoughts on a scrap of white. Actually, I have a smaller scrap right here. Okay, that's in Gorgeous Grape. Okay, mostly done with that. Now I have my double oval punch, and that's where I got my greeting. You know, I found it's kind of hard to make sure this is straight. I have a few issues with that, getting those straight. I don't know why. And then I also want to do a large scalloped oval. So there is my greeting. So that's done. And for the inside of this one, I did Sending Happy Thoughts for a Very Happy Birthday. And we'll stamp that there. Okay, done with Gorgeous Grape. Now, for layering these pieces, we're going to use Fresh Freesia. I thought that was a nice contrast with these pretty colors. Okay, so this is the double flower image, the solid one. Okay, so now you're just going to look right through that, line up all corners, and stamp. I could have huffed on that, but I didn't. Isn't that just beautiful? It's so distinctive and gives highs and lows. First time I used it was just the other day, and I just loved it. So, of course, these colors are the bomb, in my opinion. Okay, so now to get this correct, pretty easy. Look at all these leaves that you can stamp with one time. Look at how pretty that is. And then there's another one right here. And that one is also in Fresh Freesia. And then you get, oh, I'm sorry, it's not. It's in, I did it in Coastal Cabana because it looks kind of like leaves or buds before they open. All right. It just covers so much all at the same time. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? So love it with that, just that long, soft image, background blended piece. Oh, and then I forgot that we have, where is my stamp set? So this one, I don't think I got it out, or did I? I don't see it. I have a larger dotted image. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this set has a larger group of dots that I'm going to stamp off a little bit, I think. I want it really nice and soft. And like I said, I just inked this ink pad because it was seeming just a little bit. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. So we can put this card together. So how many of you are going to, oh, thank you, Cindy. You're so sweet. How many of you are going to try this technique? Anybody going to try it? I will be posting a Let's Share post on my Flowerbugs Stamp and Share group. And then those who, oh, I forgot to tell you who won. Last week's, I got right into my ornament cards talking, and then I didn't mention who won. But anyway, I'll get to it, I promise. So those who share this blended masking technique, now you wouldn't have to use just a straight piece. You could use masks that we actually sell. You could use, oh, you're working on two, Carol, awesome. You could use punched images like, I mean, not, this is a poor example, but you could do shapes and sponge in those just to create a background. So it's actually going to be one of my challenges for my team going into February, to use a masked sponging technique. So I did stamp this ahead of time on a piece of scrap paper, and we'll be adding that. And I'm going to use 2 dimensionals, and I'll explain why in a minute, to add this to here. I'm going to try and match those up. There we go. The reason I added 2 is I didn't want a dimensional where this gem is going to be, because this dimensional here and here will kind of cushion that gem, and it won't cost more as it goes through the postal service. So that's my reasoning for that. Now, as far as who won the ornament challenge on the Stamp and Share group, and the winner, I don't know if she's on, is Jennifer June. So congratulations, Jennifer. I will be sending you a free embellishment for sharing your ornament cards on the last Stamp and Share. So the next Stamp and Share will be, thanks Barb. I will only be on the last Monday of each month though. I'm really kind of cutting back just a little bit on my lives in that way. So the last Monday of the month is when you need to have shared your masked blended technique on my post on my Flowerbugs Stamp and Share. So that's what I'm going to challenge you to do, is to get in on the door prize drawing. So do that by, gosh, what's the last Monday of the month? It is the 30th. So you need to do that by the 29th to be in on the door prize drawing. Okay, so there we go. There are those 2 cards, and I'm not going to, well, I stamped that little cute little flower that has, these are the stamps that go in there. So this is the center, and this is the little buds. So it's so cute how you can add, I don't know, do you think this is a petunia? It looks like a petunia to me, but they don't have those stamens in the center. So maybe it's not a petunia. Who knows what this flower is? Some flower expert should tell me, because petunias also don't have those. So hollyhock? Could it be a hollyhock? I don't know. Oh, I didn't even see that there's a bee. Oh, I could have added that here too. Oh, so much to do. Okay, so hopefully a lot of you will be joining me tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Central Time, for the next live. I'll be sharing some more celebration items tomorrow. I can't show the inside of the catalog to show these stamp sets in here until Thursday. We're not allowed to open it and show it live until they go live, till the catalog goes live, which is the 5th. So start making your list and getting those lists going so you can earn some celebration choices. There are some great items in here at this time. And then, of course, our spring catalog will go live the same day. So, yeah. Oh, and I did want to mention, I'll be talking about this tomorrow too, but I have a designer paper share. So it is, look at this. These are the motorcycle paper. So I just opened it for the first time. So it has black shiny paper on each side, and the other side is kind of manly type paper. But look at the rose one. Gorgeous. So anyway, I have 95 6x6 sheets in this big designer paper share that has lots of specialty papers in it as well. So yeah, lots of shimmer and shine and ginghams and there's lots. It's every single paper in the spring catalog. And so you get a 6x6 sheet of each of them, and it's on my flowerbug shop.com, flowerbugshop.com. If you want to order that, I'll be taking orders hopefully through January until they start petering out. 8 people fill a share. Once they fill, I can order. So that's kind of how that works if you're interested. But thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow live, hopefully some of you. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, I will see you on my YouTube channel or on Facebook. All right, thanks so much, gals. Have a good night. And Morning Glory, that's not a bad guess either. I'm not sure. I've really grown Morning Glory's gene. So somebody has to tell us what this flower is. I don't think, well, maybe they do. But Morning Glories are a vine. Kind of looks a little vine-like. Oh, I missed the little bow here, didn't I? Okay, all right. I could go on and keep visiting with you all. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.